Hello, Jennifer. Good,
Hey,
wherever you are.
Devendra. Can you
Good
hear
day.
me? How are
Loud
you?
and clear. Loud and clear.
Good, good.
And let me make sure I get you as, where are we? Let's make sure I give you the option. What's going on here? Jake has joined us from Atara. Let's see. Come on.
Hello.
Hi, Jake. How are you?
Hi, Jake.
Doing well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Long time no hear.
Yeah, busy times here. I only get my headset working.
You ain't complaining. You're good, right? It's a good time to be busy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I am going to make Jennifer a co-host. Okay. Jennifer, make co-host. All right. Confirm.
I'm just going to jump on
Hey,
mute while we
madam.
wait for people to join. Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jake.
Hey, Jennifer, you are now a co-host.
Thank you,
Thank God
sir.
I could do it. So where in the world are you today?
I'm actually home this week.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
lucky. You're
I
lucky
am. Yeah,
girl.
it's been a lot of travel lately. I'll be down in Costa Rica next week and then some stuff in Boston over the next couple of weeks.
Wonderful. I know how much you
Yeah.
travel. You probably put on 1,000,000 miles on your schedule, don't
I
you?
love it. I love it. I love it. So I can't
Right.
complain.
Thank God. Thank God you do it.
I
Hey,
know.
Jake, we should have lunch sometime.
Yeah, where you at?
Yeah, you cannot hide. I'm in Calabasas, man.
Oh, no, I'm not, though. I'm in Minneapolis. I'm a
Oh.
remote worker
Oh,
for Atara.
oh gosh, you never moved, huh?
No, no.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thought about it,
And
but
Don is online. That good to know where you are now. I'll keep that in mind. Hey, welcome, Don. Don from, where is she? D.W. Morgan. So
Nope. And she's
Jennifer, I'm
gone.
expecting about 15 people to join us with 3
Excellent.
tentatives.
Good,
So I had
good.
18 I was expecting, so we'll see where we end up.
Sorry, Devendra. I'm here. I'm on the road.
Good.
Hi, Don.
Oh, you're on the road. Well, you are in the transportation business. Why would you be doing anything different?
I had to figure out
And
my
my
mute,
friend is,
unmute.
all right. And my friend is here. Ross is here. Hi, Ross. Good
Hey,
day.
Devendra. How are you doing?
How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Don, where are you driving? Where are you physically?
I'm actually in LA right now. I'm just driving out to a customer meeting.
All right. Hey, be careful.
Yep, no problem.
Hi, Bob.
Be careful. And Robert, so good to see you, sir. I got the double-barreled gun from Kuna Nagel. I love it. I love it.
Which one are you, Bob?
Hey, Bob has been with me from the very, very
I
beginning.
know.
You're
You're on mute, Bob.
on mute. Hey, Bob, am I going to see you
I
in
thought
Brussels next month?
I thought I took
Am I
myself
going?
off mute. Sorry.
Yeah, am I going to see you in Brussels next month?
No, I'm not going to be over there. Sorry to miss it.
All right, sorry, I'll miss you too. And Craig is on board. Craig is our newcomer, Craig Hudson from Bear. Welcome, Craig.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the invite.
Oh, are you kidding? What would we do without you? Come on, man. Shake us up. And
Hopefully.
and Jennifer, I think you know Michael very well, don't you, Heglin from SkyCell?
Michael and I met at BSMA this past year with the other Michael from SkyCell.
Well,
Touched to see you again.
well,
All right.
yeah. Mike has been educating me on a lot of good things, so I feel so much better. I cannot tell you.
Excellent.
So much
Michael,
better. Thank you, Michael.
will you be in Boston in a couple weeks, Michael?
Yes.
Excellent. We'll connect there.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Hello, guys. Nice to meet you all.
And our
Hello.
friend from hi, Stefan. Are you in Munich?
No, in Basel, in Switzerland.
Oh, you're in Basel. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. And my good friend
Back from
Luis
Japan.
Fernandez. Mr. Vertex, how are you, Luis?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. Got to see you sometime.
Yes, yes.
And Mary, our Chief Community Officer, Engagement Officer, has joined us.
Morning, everybody, or afternoon, or wherever you are in the world.
I got to welcome Rich and say, hey, Rich, how are you feeling?
Cool.
You're on mute. I cannot have you on mute, my friend.
I said
Anything but mute.
I'm hanging in there. Yeah,
How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm good. I have this
You good?
nice brace on, but other than that, yeah,
Moly.
yeah.
Ooh.
Can you run the marathon?
Not yet, but I can walk.
Oh, that's good. That's the first step.
Good
That's
start.
good.
Yeah.
And Jeff Parrott is hiding behind a new Hollywood look.
No.
Are you trying to get a role in Hollywood or what?
No, they wouldn't hire me. I'm not beautiful enough, Devendra.
Well, if
You're looking
for an
relaxed
agent-
though.
Yeah,
if you're looking for an agent, I will be your agent.
yeah, yeah. Well, I am. You know, it was funny, Devendra, because about 5 minutes before this phone call, I was getting kind of those like pre-meeting jitters I used to have at Gilead, right? I'm like, man, it's nice being retired and not having, you know, all these meetings, but I definitely want to join this one. I haven't talked to you in a while on the team, so it's nice to be back.
Well, I tell you, on behalf of our entire steering committee, we're not going to let you retire. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that there's a you know, there's a you know, retirement sounds great, right? But after a while, if you don't find stuff to do, you're going to go, someone like me, you're going to go crazy, right? Not having, you know, stuff to do on an almost daily basis. So, but anyway, yeah, retirement's great, but again, glad to be back with the team here.
You know, would you believe Jeff had 2 simultaneous meetings and he decided to join us? So thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for dressing up, Jeff.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. And I, you know what? And I do have pants on, by the way, just letting you know.
Oh, well, can we get the camera to confirm?
I'll try and put my leg up now.
And I want to welcome Frank. It's late in the evening for him in Brussels. So Frank, welcome, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Great to have you on board.
Pleasure.
And I'm missing someone here. If you speak up, someone I have not recognized so far. Let's see, who do we have?
Devendra, have we heard back from Prashant?
Prashant is not on board yet. I'll call him and let you know what. If you don't mind, I just want to welcome everyone to our BSMA steering committee meeting. You are vital to our success and to our mission. And I feel privileged to have chairs like Jennifer Haig and Prashant Charavatula of BEAR. So I'm going to turn it over to the experts and I'm going to just listen in. So Jennifer, take it away, dear.
Hi,
And
everybody.
I'll call Prashant. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, hi, everybody. How are we doing today? Happy, what are we on? Tuesday? Another great week ahead of us. Sounds like everybody's busy out and about traveling, which is great to see. As mentioned, I'm Jennifer Haig. I'm with Kuehne Nagel. I'm a key account manager. Many of you may know me from my former life at United Airlines, but I'm just about to hit 10 months at Kuehne Nagel. So definitely part of that team now. We have quite a large group on board today, but we do have a lot of new faces. So I'm going to quickly go through here. I'm looking through my list here. I think Craig, Rich, Mary, we know we've worked with you guys for quite some time, but we do have Michael, Jake, Ross and Frank, who I personally have never met before. So maybe we just do a quick introductions
We are
and
on
then
the
we can
steering committee call.
go from
Please
there.
join us. Thank you.
So
Bye.
Frank, maybe just a quick introduction and I'll work through here and then I can jump in, guys.
Yes, so I'm Frank Toussaint from BSMA in Europe, and so very active in life science supply chain for the last 25 years. So very happy to be today with you.
Very good. Ross, I think we may have met before, but maybe just a quick introduction.
Sure, Jennifer, thanks. Ross Bloom, Business Development Director for Elpro. I've been on board here for about 2.5, 3 years. I've been in the cold chain space in both packaging and monitoring for about 16 or 17 years.
Awesome. Jake.
Hey guys, Jake Buchholz, Senior Director of Global Operations here at Atara Biotherapeutics. So T-cell therapies, CAR T is what we're in, and I oversee supply chain, logistics, and manufacturing.
And I see one more name on here, and I'm going to open it up to anyone else who I may have missed. It says ORD-PATL. Who might that be?
Hey, Jen, it's Pat Luisi.
Oh, hey, Mr. Luisi, how are you?
How are you?
Excellent. Very, very good to hear. Anybody else that I may be missing on here that
Maybe I
needs
can also quickly introduce myself.
Please, Michael.
So my name is Michael. I lead the sustainability efforts of SkyCell. I'm environmental scientist by training, and I've been in the cold chain space for about 5 years. Pleasure to be here.
Excellent. Thank you, Michael. So guys, we're going to take
Jennifer,
yes, sir.
Jennifer, there'll be an executive from Amgen who's going to join us later, Ashwin.
Okay, lovely.
So he had promised to join us.
Excellent. So guys, we're going to take a little different approach with this today. And I'm going to share just kind of some agenda items. This is very much, I want to make sure you guys can see this. Can you see the Transportation Steering Committee slide deck? Yeah. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna we're gonna take this just in a little different approach. I wanted to kind of organize it a little bit differently. And like I said, there's a gentleman by the name of Prashanth with Bayer who should be joining shortly. So he and I have been working on this pretty closely together. But as we work our way through this, this is an open forum, an open conversation. This is a steering committee group. So I want to make sure we all have our say. We all have fantastic ideas and we all come from very different areas within transportation. So I really want to make sure that we cover every piece. We have shippers, we have forwarders. We have no airlines on here today, unfortunately. We have technology providers, packaging providers. So really want to make sure that we're talking with everybody and getting the full overview. So just an idea of today's agenda. We've gone through opening remarks. Once Prashanth joins, I'll have him kind of add in just a little bit on his side of where we're thinking today. We've gone through the introduction of the new attendees. So thank you guys for introducing yourselves. If I did miss anybody, just raise your hands and we can be very informal about it. Want to talk a little bit about open items. It's kind of just one slide that says open items. I know it's been a while since we've spoken. So just want to open it up to the group to see if there's anything on anybody's mind from the previous BSMA conferences, online events that we've had and everything else. Mary, I might pick on you a little bit to talk a little bit about the women's organization that you guys kicked off within BSMA. And then I want to talk about work streams. Myself, Devendra, and Prashanth have really been trying to figure out how we get some focus and really get everybody engaged. We meet every 3 months, and that's great, but we want to think about how we can move the organization forward, how we can bring in external folks, and how we can start to tailor where we want to go with this specific committee. So
Jennifer, I'm sorry, Jennifer, I joined a little bit late here. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. How are you?
You are forgiven.
Sorry, Devendra.
No worries.
Thank you.
So Prashanth, why don't I just finish going through the agenda, then I can pass it back to you from there.
Okay,
Excellent.
sounds good. Thank you.
And then as we talk about these work streams, guys, again, myself, Devendra, Prashanth have kind of brainstormed some ideas, but very much open to other ideas. The goal of today is to identify as a group 5 to 7 work streams that we want to work on, and then identify one, if there's anybody on the call who's interested in either leading or being part of those work streams. And two, if there isn't, identifying at least, is it a shipper? Is it a forwarder? Is it a transportation person that we want to start trying to bring into those work streams? This is going to help us as we move into the conferences, into master classes, into conversations that we're having externally, and really kind of bringing it forward. And then we'll close and we'll discuss our next meeting date. We would like to do one more steering committee before the end of the year, maybe a little virtual happy hour. I know you guys are about 8 a.m. right now, but maybe we can do a little later in the day in celebration of the year. So with that, Prashanth, before I move on, why don't I pass it back to you for introductions and our discussions from yesterday.
Appreciate that, Jennifer. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and I apologize for being late today. A very quick introduction from my side is that I'm Prashanth Chakravartula, and I lead the site logistics operations for the Bayer Biotech business here in Berkeley, California. Yeah, been with the company for 20 years, but really excited to be part of the BSMA organization and also being associated with this particular committee here. One thing what I just wanted to add with is that here, maybe Jennifer and Devendra, you may have already covered it, but wanted to emphasize one thing, that the whole purpose of coming together in a forum like this is to really solve problems together from different aspects of it, right? There are owner operators, there are logistics service providers, there are solution providers. So this is a fantastic opportunity for us to come together to understand the problems that we all are facing, be it on the inventory side, be it on the warehousing side, on the transportation side, which is kind of the backbone, I think, which is the spine of the cold chain that we all deal with. So that's the precursor to it, is that come to this forum with a lot of issues on hand, and be prepared to partner and collaborate to kind of solve the problems. And with that precursor, the most important thing is that we came together to put an agenda where we have participation. So every one of you, please contribute. Very, very active participation. The better the participation, I think, the better we are, and we are set up to solve the issues. I'm going to bring in from my side several issues that I am facing, so that so that is the most important aspect of it. And there are all these different work streams we can pick and choose based on our specialities and based on our experiences, and then participate in it. Yeah, I'm very excited to be part of it. Devendra, do you want to add anything here?
No, I think both of you have been very eloquent. I have no words to add. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. So Jennifer, yeah, do we want to move to the next slide here, or is it something?
Jennifer can move the next slide, right?
So next slide is open items. So before we start down the work stream path, or the work stream, I just wanted to open it up to the floor, open it up to the group here, see if there's any open items, ideas, questions, anything burning within anyone's head before we moved on to the work stream overview.
I have a question, or more of a statement. So I've been a part of the BSMA going on 2 years now. I've been with Bayer for 13, mostly in the warehousing end of supply chain. While I love the BSMA, but I feel like when we say end to end for supply chain, we're missing the whole warehousing side of supply chain, right? We really don't focus on how warehousing works or anything with storage. And last year there was a couple questions about setting up offsite storages and stuff like that for customers who were trying to, beat the tariffs and getting a bunch of stuff in, and we don't really cover any of that. And so that's something that I would like to start trying to integrate into the BSMA, best practices for receiving. I mean, there's a whole myriad of things that warehousing we can cover that would also support supply chain. And I think that would be big for BSMA, especially for smaller companies coming in that want an efficient receiving process, that want an efficient storage process and stuff like that. And I feel like we're missing that in the BSMA when we're talking about end-to-end supply chain, because we're really talking about the beginning and then the end for shipping it out. We're missing the whole centerpiece, right? Because warehousing is the centerpiece of supply chain, you know, and I think we need to cover some of that.
Prashant, did you like
So
get
Craig,
him ready for this one?
So I want, yeah, I just want to say something to Craig. I plead guilty. I plead guilty. You're right on. And you will not have to say this again as we go down. Warehousing, as you rightly pointed out, is a very critical element of the supply chain. And lately, great many of us have been discussing how warehouse is a connector with the freight forwarder. I mean, how do we optimize the product being put in the container? How do we minimize this, you know, the carbon footprint? So I salute you. We're going to do it. Give us the leadership. And Jennifer and Prashant, Prashant, I already know, has already got it on his agenda going forward. So thank you, sir.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
Guys, any other items of interest or open items from previous that we want to discuss before we move on to work streams? I can't see if anybody's raising their hand, so just holler if you do. Okay. Cool.
By open items, Jennifer, by open items, do you also mean the issues people have, or what did you have in mind?
The thought was if there's any open items that we missed on follow-up from previous
Okay.
BSMA
Thank
steering
you.
committees.
Thank you. Okay, got it.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the work streams, and the reason the comment I made to Prashant, whether or not he was already talking with Craig, is these are kind of the ones that we've identified working with myself, Prashant, and Devendra, really trying to focus on kind of the start to finish. And Craig, as you said, really that in-between piece of the warehousing, the inventory best practices. So we've heard a lot of these conversations throughout the conferences, throughout our conversations of warehousing and inventory, planning and forecasting, technology solutions. This could go anything from trackers to devices that are managing your temperatures to anything across the board. We have packaging. One of the things that came up was the need for longer term use packaging, deep frozen packaging, and more sustainable packaging, which brings us right to sustainability. There's a lot of bits and pieces of sustainability that are out there on both air, sea, packaging across the board. And then procurement best practices. I think, Jeff, this was one of the last conversations me, you, and Devendra had, and kind of seeing what the best practices are, talking to a lot of the pharma shippers really drive a lot of this, and understanding what's behind it and how we can help work with you to partner and be a partner versus just having it be very transactional. And then, of course, there's some other ones that we can discuss as well. So before I go into a breakdown of each of these, Prashant or the group as a total, is there anything we're missing? Are there any others that you guys would really like to focus in on?
Do we, just a question, and I haven't been to these in a while, but do we want to differentiate between commercial and clinical supply chain? Because there are some nuances to that, right? And then the second part is warehousing and inventory. Do we want to include the word storage? At least, you know, back before I left Gilead, that was a huge topic of conversation, was storage, particularly cold chain storage, right? Your -20, -80, and how, you know, there are a lot of clinical studies that I'm aware of that necessitate cold storage, right? You know, frozen storage. So, so those couple things, right? Storage, and do we want to have some sort of differentiator between commercial supply chains and clinical supply chains?
So, Jennifer, with your permission, if I may respond to Jeff's observations. Number one, there's a very active, large group addressing logistics and transportation and trade issues on the clinical side already. But the point you're making is a damn good point. What I want to sure is when they have meetings, we make some of you on of what they discuss, want to participate and
Sorry,
vice
Devendra,
versa.
you are breaking up, Devendra. Sorry.
Am I? I do not know why my internet, I do not, am I better now or no?
I'd maybe go off camera, Devendra. Sometimes that'll help with the bandwidth.
Oh, you know what? You're so right. You're so right. Yeah, you know me. You've seen me. So let me get off the camera. Thank you, Steve. Okay. How do I? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you, dear. So what I was saying, responding to Jeff's observations, the clinical supply chain setting committees are very heavily focused on transportation, logistics, trade, compliance, etc., etc. So
You're still breaking up.
Need to
Devendra,
that.
you're still breaking up, and you're still on video. Just letting you know.
Oh gosh,
Okay.
I checked
Now-
myself off video here.
Yeah, now you're off video. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So the clinical steering committee and the work streams are focusing on logistics, transportation, and international trade very, very heavily. And but the point is still well made. I don't want this steering committee to include anything about clinical. On the other hand, when they have the meeting, I'll make sure you are informed about them. Similarly, when you have your meetings, I'll make sure they are informed so we can all learn from each other, clinical and commercial. Is that okay, Jeff?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right. And the second one was on cold chain storage. I really think it should be part of warehousing.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
Right,
wanted to make
Prashant?
sure. Yeah, I just
Yes.
wanted to make sure that that word, perhaps that word storage gets included, because warehousing can mean, different things to different people. But there is, this, I think, increasing need for frozen storage, and there was a scramble right around June-ish when I left Gilead. So whether that is still on track to, that's still a need, right? That's just something I think that we just needs to be addressed.
If I may,
very good point. Yeah.
Yes, Devendra. I mean, I'm in agreement with you, Jeff. So what we could do is that we could say warehousing and storage as one line item, and then move the inventory as a line item by itself. In a way, because there is planning around it, there is storage, there is space, a bunch of other things just from an inventory point of view.
And also to add on to that, just kind of thinking through, I think we're focused on the shipper, on the pharma warehousing, the pharma inventory and storage, but there's also the other side of it where you have the forwarder and you have the airline. And as we and the airlines are starting to build their new facilities, I think that needs to be part of the conversation as well, because we want to make sure we have the storage that's necessary. Can we load an active container in the right temperatures for you? On an airline side, do we have dry ice available in order to re-ice? So I think that might even be an extension of that, Prashant, because I know you're going to kind of take the lead on this piece. So I think that should be another part of that conversation. Because there's a lot of the forwarders and the airlines, we're making a lot of investments right now to make sure we can support your product. And we want to make sure that we're building the right, build it and they will come, right? Make sure that we have the right storage and everything in place for you.
Yeah.
Jen, if
So
I could make,
go ahead, please.
yeah, if I could just make a comment, great conversation around the warehousing piece and the commercial to clinical. From my perspective, from a Kuehne + Nagel perspective, yeah, Jeff, I totally agree with the the clinical to commercial. Then I see kind of two categories. One, I see the mature organizations, such as Gilead and Bayer and the big players that are in the marketplace. So that's kind of one thing going from clinical to commercial on a mature organization. Then there's I'll call them the startup or the incubator companies where they maybe have one pallet for storage. It's the most important pallet they have, and it's not going to fit in a big box that someone's going to want a 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 square foot facility. So I kind of see it clinical to commercial, mature, all the way down to startup incubator kind of quadrants that at least we see in the marketplace, right? If someone on this call came to us and said, "Hey, we want you to stand up a 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 square foot facility," that's one discussion. Someone else says, "I need one pallet minus 20, one pallet minus 80 for 3 months." That's a different discussion. Right? So I want to just I'm getting a little granular, but I kind of see that topic a couple different ways.
That's
Go
actually
ahead.
a really good point.
Go ahead and be granular, Bob. He's on mute.
No, I'm just saying it. I didn't want to just broad brush it and say, "Hey, is this warehousing means the same thing to everybody." So again, if I'm a startup, that's one piece. If I'm a mature organization that has a lot of storage needs, that's another piece. So I think you got to look at that spectrum from startup all the way up through mature organizations.
So Jennifer, I had 2 observations to make. One is I was going to request Prashant that planning and forecasting be extended to include inventory management.
Yeah, definitely we could look to do that. Go ahead, Prashant.
Think about it.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's also that it could have its own place because
Could have its
inventory.
own place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah. So the planning and
yeah.
forecasting is all like material requirements planning and a bunch of other aspects before the material hits the warehouse, but also inventory. Yeah, I see that as a separate item itself because inventory management and control. If you see in the organizations, there is always somebody who is managing inventory.
Right. The other one, Jennifer, is for people like you, Kuehne+Nagel, the 3PLs. Please bring your solutions and services in the warehousing area that you have not been doing in the past. I think that's a big message I'm getting from what you guys are discussing. Our drug manufacturers need to be aware of some of the just-in-time warehousing services that you're providing. And I got to admit, at BSMA, we have not focused on that, what I think is a very critical element.
I think what we can probably do with the warehousing and inventory is really break it up. We can have that kind of as the master overview, but I think there's going to be two facets. One, Bob, the one you were talking about, more or less the startups to the mature, and also kind of the freight forwarding airline side. But then Prashant, the piece of it where, okay, now we're storing, we're forecasting, we're shipping. So I think as we work through the work stream, we can kind of break that out into 2 under one heading, and then maybe have really 2 sub work streams under that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So quite a few others on here, guys. Are there any others that like I said, I'll break these out a little bit more just based on conversations. Are we hitting the pain points? We've got a lot of different folks on here. What are the first things that you guys think about when you get up in the morning besides where's my coffee and has the dog gone out? Are there any other things that you guys are thinking through?
Can I ask one thing real quick?
Please.
What about the inbound side? I know we're technically normally not, responsible for inbound in that sense, but it does affect warehousing and inventory, right? So, I mean, all the whole best practices on receipt and everything like that, that entire inbound supply chain and communication upstream to your tier 1, tier 2 suppliers has been something, especially around forecasting, not just outbound, but forecasting inbound is a pretty big driver for the actual pharmaceuticals. So
it's funny.
Yes, Rich, absolutely. In a way, when we said warehousing, we meant the end-to-end warehouse processes where you have both from the inbound planning to all the way to production transfers or intra-site logistics and also shipping. So that was covering the warehousing process. But yeah, we should definitely talk about it.
I have a
I
quick
do have,
comment.
yeah.
I have
Yes,
a quick
Luis, go
comment.
ahead.
Quick comment on warehousing. I know we always focus on the product, right? Either starting material, intermediate material, finished goods, right? And warehousing. But there's a lot of needs. There is also a need for samples. Some of the samples that we shipped out, retaining samples and so forth. I've seen a need of warehousing of those samples that we keep for X amount of time. Are we covering that as well here?
I mean, in my mind it is, but yeah, these are still part of the warehousing and the logistics of those samples. But we should, yeah, these are all definitely part of the scope.
Yeah, I haven't seen many warehouses that can hold samples, retain samples, maintain samples as needed. Recently, we went through search of different warehouses to retain some samples. But I think we should focus on that as well, because we always focus on the product, right?
Yeah.
Not on samples.
And I think it could help identify the characteristics of those samples that require a different kind of care. That would be helpful.
Yeah, and especially for cell and gene therapy, we need to retain some samples, right?
Right.
So those samples.
Okay, got it. Got it. Right on. You're right on.
So Prashant, as you start working through this specific work stream, because obviously you've kind of identified as being the person for this one, maybe it's worth breaking this down a little bit more into all of that. Because I think this one's becoming a little bit more focused. I'm seeing it even outside of BSMA with other organizations.
Yeah, we could take all these points and categorize them into maybe 2 or 3. I also had one thing, Jennifer. There is this operational excellence or process improvements aspect of it that is not really listed here. It is kind of a point where everybody is thinking about how do you scout for any gaps in the process, or how do you scout for process improvements. I think it is in all the levels, right? It is part of probably each one of these. We have to think about how to include that as part of the overall committee, the operational excellence around all these work streams.
Okay. All right. So just kind of looking through these, because I'm going to move to the next slide. It still focuses on a lot of this. And this is really where we want to dig down and focus on who's doing what, right? And how we can start moving forward with some of these work streams. Again, the work streams are being developed so we can get a little bit more interaction within this group. We can have a little bit more focus, and then it also gives us some good agenda items as we're moving into the conference in the spring, where we can take the work streams, talk about best practices, talk about solutions, that sort of thing. So I think we've talked quite a bit about the warehousing and inventory piece, and we know that we want to break that one down a little bit more. I guess I'm going to put it out there. Prashant and I have kind of put our names on these, but I think there's a lot of other folks that are a lot more involved in this as well.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else within this group who would like to be involved in the warehousing and inventory work stream as we start through it? There will be a follow-up going out after this meeting so that we can start packaging, no pun intended, those together a little bit more and to start deciding on who's going to be working on which work streams.
I definitely want to do warehousing.
There you go. And undemocratic that I often am, would you please consider Jeff Bernia also to be a part of that group? He's on the shipping side.
Now, are you sure you want me, Prashant, and Jeff all working on the same work stream?
Great question.
I'll join the work stream as well, Jennifer.
Yeah, I was about to say your name, Rich, because I think this is the space we talked at length. Thank you for joining. So I would like I would act as a moderator in a way for some of these work streams, but Jeff and Craig, you have a good point there. But I think I think it's fine.
I think from my side, I can be brought in for like questions if needed. I'm also on a couple other work streams already for the BSMA, so my bandwidth is pretty tight.
And I was just making a joke because we're all bear people. So that was the joke, but it went over everybody's head this morning. So I apologize for being up too early.
Okay.
Pat Louisi, can I ask if you would join this work stream as well?
I think he jumped
Okay.
off.
Well, let's recruit him now that he's off the phone.
Exactly.
His name is on there.
Yeah, Jennifer, just recruit him and others.
It's on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I would just like a forwarder on there if we can as well, and to discuss especially intermediate storage of those things, Jennifer, the things you brought up,
Yep.
and especially the work with the airlines as intermediate storage locations for things. I mean, it's a form of warehousing and inventory, like you said, the in-transit warehousing of things.
Yeah, because I think with the forwarder side, you have a couple of different ways. You have the freight side of it, right? But you also have the contract logistics side. So
bet.
I'm going to put both Bob and Pat on there, and then we can figure out maybe one handles the CL side and one handles the transportation side of it.
Great.
Bob,
And,
I
Jen-
just
yeah.
Yep.
I got
Jennifer-
voluntoed, huh?
Go ahead,
one
Bob.
of us, Bob.
I got voluntoed. That's fine, Jennifer.
And Jennifer, I was going to request you, with your deep understanding of
No, that's
United
fine.
Cargo, if you could have their executives join some of these work streams.
Absolutely. My thoughts are we definitely want to get an airline involved in it. I think there's 2 airlines in my mind that I will put the invite out to, and maybe 3 that I'm thinking, and then we can kind of
Wow.
determine which ones we want to work with.
Fantastic.
I have a request to the group here, for somebody who is in the operations of pharma, logistics, pharma warehousing, to also join this group, join this specific work stream, because those perspectives are extremely important. Not every product is the same. The characteristics of the product are different, so the issues are different. So yeah, I see the participation from Bayer, but is there any other organization who can represent? Are there?
Luis,
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to say, Luis, you had mentioned kind of the sample side of it. As we start bringing this together, would this be a work stream that you would have interest in joining?
Yeah.
Is he still sitting on his island somewhere?
I'm sorry. I'm here. Sorry, I was
No worries. I like your background.
muted. Thanks. My camera is not working, so you see the island. Yeah, I would like to participate in the packaging side because I have more
more
interested in that end. Yeah.
That makes sense. Cool. All right.
Hey,
Jennifer, if I may interrupt, as a new joiner, would you mind elaborating a bit what the goals are exactly of the work streams? So what's our goal if we participate in, and what do we want to achieve together when we put our minds here to one of these topics?
Prashant, you want to take that, or should I?
Yeah. So like we talked about right earlier, at warehousing, it's like the end-to-end processes of the warehousing, pharma part of it, and also biotech, and which encompasses both on the inbounding and inbound production transfer. There is also inventory piece as part of the warehouse. There are issues. There are issues like dock to stock time. There are issues about frozen transfers, and also about shipping at the right kind of temperature. So within a central warehousing kind of a concept is one aspect of it, which has several issues, but also there is offsite storage, and what are the requirements that are needed. Say, for example, if you have an extended warehouse, an overflow warehouse, or any warehousing that is based on for earthquake. I mean, that's what we have at Bayer. So all these different aspects of storage would be covered in this work stream, and the challenges that we are facing. And like Jennifer said, that we would bring in some kind of a solution, saying that, okay, why don't you have these different solutions? And so we just talk about these issues that we have, and it would encompass, in my head, it is also talking about process times. It would talk about what are the temperature zones that are needed. So several things. I can go on and on, but that is the scope of what we are talking
So it
about.
means we would have kind of a case study blueprint at the end saying, hey, these are some challenges we identified, and this is how, I don't know, just saying something Bayer solves
Yes,
them.
exactly. Yeah. We would definitely come up with some kind of an as-is where everyone is having a common set of issues, and then we'll chase them and say that, hey, these are different solutions that are available in the marketplace. How do we approach it? with the new technologies, let it be it IoT or even let's say, inventory counting with the drones or even an operator-centric systems. So we have solutions in the marketplace. We want to bring them here and discuss openly with a set of challenges in mind.
Hey,
Along
Prashant
with
and
best
Jennifer,
along
Prashant,
with
Jennifer,
Yep.
may I suggest that could you go around the members on the call and request who would want to volunteer to be on these work streams that you have identified? Would that facilitate the process?
Yep,
For example, like Michael, sustainability, we need him there. Could we do that?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're working through, guys. So just to kind of clear that up, Michael, what we've done is we've gone through kind of in discussions. These are really these are the top items of interest, of concern for our community. And what we want to do is we want to get the right people involved within this group to put together solutions, share best practices, and really give us some focus as we move forward on these items. In turn, we're going to be able to do things like whether we create white papers, we have different discussions at the BSMA conferences. It's giving us an opportunity to identify the issues, find solutions, and then have some sustainability going forward within these specific items of interest.
So Jennifer, just to add to what you're saying, one more thing I want to add is that it is also about a problem and a solution going onto the stage and saying that, hey, these are some of the issues that we faced, and this is how that we are solving. And there could be webinars, there could be white papers, like you said. And by the way, also wanted to add that it's not just about manual warehousing, but it's also about semi-automated and also automated warehousing issues that we can also talk about. So it encompasses the entire aspect of pharma warehousing and the storage aspects of it.
So following what Devendra said, I'm going to suggest that I'm just watching the clock as well. We have about 17 minutes left. I'd like to get through this in the next 10 to 15 so we can close up from there. So as we move through this, planning and forecasting, I think, Prashant, we have talked a little bit about this on our side. From the group on here, is there anybody who has any interest in taking part of this work stream, who has any need of it right now and having any heartburn or concerns around their planning and forecasting?
Or even recommending others from their own organizations.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think I'm just going to speak from a forwarder airline side. It's always interesting to know what you guys are planning for. So we know, do we need to get adequate space on an aircraft, on a sea vessel, that sort of thing. So I would say that we definitely, from my side, would want a forwarder and an airline vessel or something like that on this work stream, just so we can understand that process. And from the pharma shipper side, you guys can understand why we need this information in order to make our decisions as well.
Thank you, Jennifer. May I request Jeff Parata to join the planning and forecasting? What do you say, Jeff?
From what, in what capacity can you?
Yeah, from a supply chain planning point of view, from a supply chain, product management point of view, there are a bunch of things that you have looked at in the past. So I was just thinking that it could add value.
Well, I'll say I've never been an SNOE, SNOP sort of guy or a planner, so I'm just not sure how much I can add to that conversation. I've been, to be honest, more involved out of all these work streams with the top one, right? Warehousing, inventory. I've worked with packaging and packaging type companies as well. So and the most recent before I left Gilead was some procurement. So perhaps one of those would be better.
And it may also, guys, we may get through the end of this list and go, you know what, maybe planning and forecasting goes on the back burner for right now, and we focus on some other ones. So I think we can use this discussion to determine, is that a possibility as well?
Hey, Jennifer, where's cold chain in all this? Is it all over?
think it's all over, but I would put it probably, in my opinion, more in packaging.
Okay. So that's
Yeah,
where Jeff could contribute a lot because he was driving that initiative at Gilead on frozen products.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Cold chain is
Yeah.
as much about the process of handling as it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a process, right?
Yeah, anybody from the supply chain planning, I think that would be a great perspective, because before the material hits the dock, it's about the planning and who puts the material, right? So I think from that point of view, working with the suppliers, I mean, buyer planning, buying planning, somebody from that space would be very valuable in this work stream.
Agreed.
Okay.
Can move on to packaging?
Absolutely.
Can I
I
also,
think,
sorry,
Yeah, please.
can I suggest something for the planning and forecasting? That you have somebody from warehousing that can represent warehousing, and they can work together to create probably a better process, because I feel like a lot of the times the forecasting and planners don't bring in warehousing to ask questions before, so they just buy a ton of stuff and they don't understand the constraints that warehousing has. So I would suggest looking into that too, because then you can build a better workforce, which could eventually turn into putting it to other sites and your company saying it, you need to work with these two groups so that you can understand how much you can actually store versus how much you think you can store in a warehouse because you've never been there.
very good point. Okay. All right, so let's move on to packaging. And as we look through this, guys, we're looking at sustainability, we're looking at cold chain, we're looking at frozen, we're looking at deep frozen. So this one, we obviously would like to have a couple packaging providers in there. We'd like to, Jeff, you had mentioned with your background, really liking to take part in this. I'm also thinking maybe somebody from the quality side within the Pharma Shipper would be interesting, because we know that there's a lot of different packaging out there. And going kind of what does that process look like for approvals?
Luis said he would do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to
Yes.
get involved in that. Yep.
Yep.
I want also to join the packaging.
Yeah, can we
Yes.
expand this to packaging and a forwarder or shipping process? Because packaging and the process kind of go together. Luis, you can speak more to that, but you can't do one without the other, right? You have to understand what your expectations are for cold chain control along the way in order to understand how to package. So I think that people that understand that process side of things, intermediate storage locations, transfer temperature controls of trucks, various things like that, I think that all fits under the packaging and process control.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rich. But also, we need to also look at the product itself. So it's a product, the packaging, and the process.
The three Ps.
Yeah, three Ps. Yeah, three Ps.
And that's how the scope should be defined. I think you
Yep.
really put it well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Awesome. So
I'd also be interested in this. Of course, I guess it depends a bit on the goals and resources. Also need to check internally if there might be someone else.
yeah, Michael, it'd be great to have you in there, your group in there.
Yep.
It'd be really good to have the SkyCell group in there, and you've got kind of the passive active solutions, but maybe also finding somebody from a true passive solution like a cold chain technologies or somebody like that, since you have both sides of it. So Michael, can I put SkyCell as kind of a placeholder on this one, whether it's yourself, Marco, or somebody from your team there?
So I need to check internally, but of course, please.
Super.
I also see Stefan in the group.
Yes.
So Stefan, yeah, because I know that about what you do, and I've seen some of your presentations. Which work stream would you like to join?
That's a good question, because we focus on packaging sustainability and technology. So it's because our technology is built to make packaging more sustainable and these things. So, but packaging is what we do every day, because that's the core of all our digital things is packaging connection with supply chain. I go with Rich, so I say, okay, that's the core. You need to understand the supply chain to find the right packaging. So this is why, for me, and sustainability and packaging is coming together. If you have the wrong packaging, you're not sustainable. So that's for me, sustainability alone is for me always related with supply chain and packaging. So yeah, that's why I think packaging is for me the key of this.
So I put you down on there. Well, I will, what we'll do at the end of this, guys, is I will send a follow-up
Yeah,
kind of with
yeah.
each work stream with who's kind of put their name in it, and then we can organize it from there. All right, so as we move on to the next one, sustainability, obviously, I think really kind of goes across all of these work streams. But I think as we start looking, there's packaging, there's warehousing, there's the different containers that are out there. I think we really want to focus in on some key folks across this messaging to see how we can actually improve the sustainability and improve the products that are out there. So I want to have the forwarding piece obviously involved in this, but who else on the side? I mean, Stefan, you've mentioned sustainability. I know the SkyCell team, you guys are very focused. Michael, you are the sustainability person. So having your folks on there, I think, are going to be key.
Sure.
And then from the farmer shipper side, Jeff, you had mentioned a little bit about sustainability. I know that there's a huge push within the market to start looking for better solutions for sustainability. It's part of RFQs. There's different dashboards, reports that are set out there. From a pharma shipper, I'd love to have one of you guys on this specific work stream. And whether it's yourself or bring somebody in from your sustainability group.
Yeah, sustainability, it's I'll make a commentary on sustainability that it was always talked about, right? But the difficult part was the measurement against goals, right? That I don't know if that's something that we even want to kind of put in here, right? Is we always talked about it at Gilead, but it was very difficult getting some sort of objective data to measure how are we doing, right? So you could put me in there, Jennifer. Yeah,
Definitely have some ideas how we could do that. I'm sure Stefan does as well. You know, the measurement and sustainability for all of these, what we focus on. I think at the moment the biggest aspects that pharma talks about is waste and CO2. Right? So how can we improve that? How can we measure it? What kind of actions exist that help both sustainability and costs, reduce both? These are the easy starting points where you can get from, maybe do a case study together. So we have all of the players are here in this meeting. So if we do together, we like a sustainable lane or something, that could be actually quite exciting to show to the market.
I like that idea. Okay, so yeah, I knew we were going to have some good takers on that. And Jeff, I think there's a few other things that we can probably talk about that you did in your previous role, even with my company, on some of the tracking and tracing of CO2 and all of that, that I think would be some good best practices.
Yeah.
All right, so next one, we've got a lot of technology solution providers on this call. We've got GPS, we've got temperature, we've got containers themselves. So this one is interesting, and in my opinion, probably could even come under somewhat of the packaging piece as well. But for our folks on here who are with the technology solutions, want to hear from you. What are you guys thinking as maybe a focal point for this work stream? Are the technologies where they need to be now? Where are we looking in the future? What's needed? Talk to me a little bit.
For me, when I speak for the technology side, I would say for me, technology is more the enabler to make these things happen. So for me, technology alone brings nothing. So it's more like, okay, looking for a topic we just want to solve. I think this is maybe my opinion. I think if you have a technology, technology is always driven by the use case for me, from our company side. So technology by itself, yeah, it's nice, but looking for a problem is not the right way, I feel.
Yeah, can
So
I?
I mean, yeah, please go ahead.
Let me just introduce an idea here. The industry technology, right? IoT devices, packaging, you name it, right? Process and so forth. We need to link that to the new product developments that are coming in the pipeline from the pharma side. You know, so that we understand what type of products are coming up, what type of products are the pharma companies trying to launch out in the market, right? And I think that though if you couple those two, processes, then the technology will be out there in the market, will be supporting either brand new product or existing product in the pharma industry. Because I think right now what I see is the technology out there in the market, they're being developed without knowing what the pharma company needs.
Yeah, I would actually say that I don't think that there should be a work stream around technology. I think each of these other work streams is supported by technology is the way I would do it.
Yeah.
Completely.
There is just a perspective here that, normally when you think of a technology solution provider, they're working with different kinds of operations. So there could be case studies, there could be like snapshots of projects that they have done as best practices, because I think the exposure to these problems that these providers would have, it is more because somebody in the operations, they're just immersed in their own issues. So that was the reason why we put it as a separate item here. But I'm with you, Rich, that technology is just an enabler.
But I want to interrupt you by saying that while all the other work streams are going to focus on product and process, we really need a concentrated effort on technology solutions that covers everything. And I'm thinking of things like visibility in the supply chain. I'm thinking of things like reducing the inefficiency. Well, the number of transactions in transportation is second to none. And I'm looking to agentic AI that Rich Kilmer talks about very convincingly all the time. And I really think our community needs technology solutions for problems that you have identified.
Jennifer, I'd be happy to. This is Ross. Regarding this work stream, we work hand in hand with Stefan and his group. When we talk about things like predictive analytics and obviously everything around process improvement and KPIs and packaging optimization and automation, real-time visibility, all of these things we can talk through and support, whether that is through a white paper or being on a panel discussion, preparing for an event, or whatever needs. I need to jump off for another call myself, but one thing I wanted to also mention is I don't know if we have folks with like integrator companies like the Transvoyance, the Project 44, PackSafe, TraceLink, those kind of companies as well that can really take a lot of this information and make useful insights as well.
We do that, Ross.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So I wasn't sure who all was on this call, but I think that would be necessary for this piece as well.
And we have TraceLink, Brian Dayton, an integral part of this team as well. So a great point. I think Ross would be a great guy to kind of spearhead this one.
And then work within the other work streams as well.
And Rich Kilmer is the one that I've been relying on over the last 10 years now.
Yeah, I'll do this as well. I just want to make sure that, there's different kinds of technology. There's technology to support sustainability and modeling sustainability. And there's technologies around forecasting and planning that are just independent and completely different than GPS tracking devices and various things like that we think of. So we need to broaden our perspective on the technologies and how they all fit together. Even SAP, right, in our ERP systems, that's technology that we use to support all these. And the real key to all these things is I think that having a stream, if we have a stream around this idea of technologies as they work together to solve these business problems, I think that could be a good stream. Yeah.
I like that idea. And also how, like I said, how they kind of loop back into some of the other work streams, and
they will.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super. Okay. So I'm going to put you and Ross on that one, and then we can discuss how we want to expand that a little bit more and what your focal points are going to be, and then how those kind of loop back in with everything else. So guys, I am very cognizant of the time. I'm going to ask for 5 more minutes. Ross, I know that you have to jump if anyone else has to. I'm going to go through procurement best practices. I think we can I'm going to send some notes out around that, and then we can identify some folks who may want to take part in that piece. I do think this is an interesting one. We know we're all going through procurement right now. We're all going through pricing exercises, and just having a group together that can help understand that process and how to improve that process going forward. So I'm going to open it up to the group on procurement practices and see if there's anybody who has a high level interest in this, and then we can dig it down from there. All right.
While they're thinking of responding, Jennifer, I really would like to reinforce your point on this subject. This is one of the most critical issues we have in our industry, where procurement is carried out as a transactional activity rather than a strategic activity. You guys have said it to me over and over again. Jeff Parada was right there standing beside me facing these issues. So I think we need to really focus on this one and bring the drug manufacturers and the service providers together so that we achieve the strategic objectives that they all have.
Guys, we don't need to make the decision today on who's going to be part of this. I think this, and maybe one more that I'm thinking, maybe
Okay.
an open item for right now. We've got there was one other in my notes that I took that, do we want to put this on the back burner? So maybe we don't want to jump into everything initially, but definitely continue to have the conversations and make sure that we're hitting the right parts.
Jen, if I just make a comment,
Please.
just linking items number 1, 2, and the last one. From my perspective, you know, the really good procurement organizations out there are aligned with planning and forecasting on warehousing, right? So the ones that just flip out an RFQ and say, build me a warehouse in 90 days, that doesn't work. But the best practice where we'll align with the marketplace, take a look at what their needs are in, you know, 2026 or 7 or whatever that is, you know, from a planning perspective, and then, you know, build best in class, especially when you're talking about cold chain and deep frozen as a whole different understanding versus standing up a facility for Amazon in 6 weeks. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, Robert, that's a great point. It's a topic to do with I think also with site master planning or any master planning activities where you look at the near term, long term, and the short term demands, and then you build out a master plan for it. So that is the CapEx, whereas this is more of an operational planning. But I think we can,
Yeah. Okay. No, I just wanted to throw that out there because that's something that that we see, and it's a whole different discussion if a big pharma company, you know, goes to a contract logistics provider to say, hey, this is our 3-year plan. That's a whole different discussion as to where the investments go, who's going to build, and things like that. Yeah. So, thank you.
All right, so in the interest of time, I'm going to very quickly go through the last 2, and then we will do some follow-ups by email. One of the other work streams that we had talked about is air to sea conversions. We know that there's a lot of this going on. There's a lot of discussion, just understanding best practices and kind of what you're looking at as a broader scope. And then wanted to open it up to see if there are any other ideas that maybe we missed on this. So with my suggestion is that we start kind of with the ones that we've outlined. We can take the outline of each based on probably the notes that I've taken and a few others, send that out to this group, and then see where the gaps are, and then determine what our next steps are from there.
Yes, and Jennifer, you and I can meet up to make sure that these work streams are divided, and then setting up the structure of it.
Maybe we can also include these in the other slides. And air to ocean is super important, very exciting at the moment, right? But maybe we can include this also in the packaging, sustainability in the warehouse, to have like one section about, hey, what are the implications for air to ocean conversion for all of the other work streams.
That's a great idea. Okay. So with that said, I think we've kind of talked through the participants and some ideas around this. I think before we move into the ideas and how we want to use this, let's get our work streams cleaned up, the participants and kind of the focal points of those, and then we can start going kind of into how we want to manage them a little bit better. And then from there, so next steps, Prashant, myself, Devendra will clean up the notes, get them out to this group within the next week, and make sure that we've captured who wants to work on what. And then we can start, we'll kind of find the leader within each of that work stream, and we'll start setting up a call or so to go through focal points and where we want to start chatting a little bit more about that. And with that, I want to see if there are any other questions on board before I pass it back to Devendra to close us out.
Well, you want to set the next meeting date? You said 3 months from now?
Yep.
October,
So
November, December. You want December or you want to do January?
let's
January
do a
would be better, right?
let's do a quick, yeah, with everybody. What do you guys think?
I would say maybe like the mid of December before we move into the next year, just to.
All right. Mid-December. Well, the three of us will go and pick a date, like a Tuesday, same time, mid-December, and we'll let everyone know.
Alrighty.
The only closing thought I would have, Jennifer and Prashant, is this has been a very productive discussion to define what the foundation should be. And once you get the work streams reasonably established, then you can build upon it and you get to the other follow-up activities, whether they be webinars or be a presentation at the conference or be white papers. I think all that will emanate from the discussions of the work streams. And I just wanted to express our gratitude for you making the time for this very, very meaningful discussion. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
So
you.
guys, just one last parting thought. If we're looking through the group that's currently on the call today, if there's anybody missing, I mean, I've noted there's airlines missing. There's a couple different, please let us know, because we're going to be cleaning up the kind of the group list of people who are no longer involved, and really want to make sure that we have the right people on this call as well. So if there's someone more missing, let us know and we can make sure that we bring them into the conversation.
Alrighty.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Have a
Okay,
lovely
thank
week,
you all.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.